Hi everybody, welcome back to a new video. Today I want to talk about how you can love yourself more. I have already done a live stream about this, and if you want to hear like a really long version on this topic, then please watch my live stream. But I wanted to record a video as well to just give you just the points in a very quick way if you don't want to watch a 30-minute live stream. So yes, I'm going to do that now. So first of all, one of the things that I mentioned in the live stream and that I find very, very effective and efficient if you want to try it is writing letters to yourself. What could that look like? That could be basically, the intention behind it is for you to really feel the love and be surprised when the letters arrive, just as much as you would be surprised and feel the love if your man or your woman, your love, would send you a letter like this. So having this in mind, or thinking about maybe even you as your future self writing to yourself, just let the divine energy pour through you and be really good to yourself when you write these letters. You get to decide how many you write. I would say at least 3, maybe even 4 or 5, and then ask a friend to send these letters back to you. Usually it's good to leave a couple of weeks in between so that you kind of forget what you've written and that you're actually surprised when these letters arrive, or cards. Yeah, and then what I've done, you can do it however you want, but I've asked my friend to send me 1 a week, but you could also do 1 a month or 1 every 2 weeks. I mean, it's completely up to you. Just to go all in, use your imagination and have fun with it. That's really actually what this is all about. Anything that we have fun with and we draw these positive emotions to us, we draw more of those to us. So the more you have fun with this, the better. Okay, another piece of advice is take yourself on a date. And I've only recently done it for the first time, but then since I've actually done it a couple of times, because the thing is, when you first hear it, or at least this is how it felt for me, I thought, why would I do that? I thought it would be boring, annoying, and just pointless. But the truth is, it is none of these things. It is actually so uplifting. Like when I did it the first time and every other time, I felt so good. And right down, we're in lockdown again, you can still take yourself on a date. You can, the point is that you treat this as a date, that you get ready the way that you would get ready for an actual date. And you can have that date in your own house. You can have a coffee, like maybe a special brand, or just like a special hour where you sit with your coffee, you put your phone away, or having a meal by yourself, or going for a walk. If you have any other ideas, please write in the comments below. I'd be quite interested what other dating yourself things you come up with. But basically, you are going to spend this time in silence with yourself, telling yourself what you would like to hear, just like what you would a potential date, like what they would say to you, what you would like them to say. You ask yourself, what do you want to hear? Then you'll hear yourself answer, and then you say that to yourself, but you don't have to say it out loud. And then at the very end of the hour, I would suggest you think a little bit about when you finally go on an actual date with somebody. What sort of story do you want to tell about yourself? What sort of picture do you want to portray? Now, I'm not saying that you should create a fake picture or anything, but we have so many different facets of ourselves that when we go on a date, it does make sense to think about what facets we want to share. And this has nothing to do with only putting your best foot forward in the beginning and then just not anymore. That's not what I'm suggesting. But you can consciously think about what you want to share about yourself, and I would suggest that you think about that at the end of the date with yourself. And then when the date finishes, you can move on with your day. You could maybe make some notes of how you feel, or what this has how this has helped you, but that's obviously completely optional. You can do this however you want. I also wrote down just showing up for yourself, just, you know, showing up for yourself more. What could that mean? I also wrote down following your schedule, and that showing up for yourself and following your schedule is kind of going together, because when you create a schedule and then you don't follow up on it, or you only follow up on the things that are mandatory to other people, but you don't follow up with the things that you have written down for yourself. For example, maybe you have written down taking a bath one night, or having a massage, or painting your nails, or whatever, and you only do the things on the list that are for other people but not yourself. That's what I mean by showing up for yourself. Do these things for yourself. This will not only create self-love, this will also create self-trust, which is something so important. So yeah, I have also written down that I don't know if you can say this is self-love, but I find that it's just something nice to do for yourself, and it's also a way of getting to know yourself better and seeing how far you've come. It is this book that I write in every single night, and it is called One Line a Day, and I'm in my second year, actually coming to the end of the second year. Wow, next year I'm starting my third, because I started this January 2019. This is a 5-year book, and every night you write just a few sentences. There's only a little bit of space, which I find makes it easier to follow through, and it's just such a lovely thing to do. And then couple of months into the journey, or maybe even a year, you take an evening to yourself, take yourself on a date, and make yourself a cup of tea or whatever you like, put some essential oils into the room, and just read what you've written. And I find this is so helpful and so lovely, because it made me realize something that is so simple and that we all kind of know, but when you write in this book, it somehow makes even more sense, which is the life lesson that there are always going to be good and bad times, and whenever there's a bad time, there will eventually be a good time again. But we all know this, but looking through this book, once you've written in it for a couple of months, makes this much more visible, because you can literally see how one day you write, I'm having the most terrible, sorry about that, the most terrible day of the year, and I don't know if I'll ever feel better, and then 3 days later you see what an amazing day you had. I'm not saying this is exactly how it's going to be. Sometimes we're going through phases that are bad longer, but I could definitely see that in my case, I actually picked myself up quicker than I think in that moment. Like in that really heavy moment, when everything seems horrible, I think that it's going to be like this for a really long time, but this book has made me realize that it's not, and it's also showing me the progress that I'm making, which is amazing. Let me quickly see if there's anything else. Yeah, this is another thing. I wrote down being in the moment and not allowing negative self-talk. When you're by yourself, this is really what comes out, and this actually happens a lot for people who don't, like, there's some people who don't want to spend any time by themselves, and this is because there is this voice in their head. By the way, we all have that voice, but for some it's worse than others. Basically, as soon as they sit down and they're by themselves, it's like, have you done this? Have you done that? That wasn't good enough. Like that. they can't be by themselves because of that voice. And we all have some of that voice. And it is basically finding more quiet time and noticing that voice, and making conscious decisions what you actually want to think in these moments that you have with yourself, how you want to treat yourself, how you want to talk to yourself. Something that is really, really valuable is Eckhart Tolle's work. You may know the book The Power of Now or A New Earth. I'm currently reading A New Earth. And even if you don't want to read the whole book, if you just look him up here on YouTube, he has some amazing work for you to, just find a way how you can be more in the moment and love yourself and spend the now with yourself in a good way. You can also, this is also a big point. I think when it comes to these topics of looking after yourself, loving yourself, all these things, yes, of course, these things first of all come down to you and how you support yourself. But you can also support yourself by asking for help. This is actually an amazing thing to do. Or even asking others to call you occasionally, especially during lockdown when you can't see anybody. That this is also that you just realize for yourself that this is also looking out and supporting yourself, asking for help and asking others to show up for you, and making good, conscious, healthy choices with the people that you let into your life. I think, I also mentioned decorating your room. If you haven't already done so, or maybe you want to change a little bit, think about a vision board if you haven't already done so. Think about pictures. In lockdown, I've done a lot of painting my numbers, but these pictures have literally brightened up my room so much. Like, I'm looking at my vision board over there, I'm looking at the picture that I painted over there. It is so amazing to look at these, and think about how, because these things make more of a difference than you might think. Like, when I put up that picture, I was like, wow, that makes such a huge difference. Like, waking up, looking at the pictures make such a huge difference. So maybe just changing something that might seem small may actually have a big positive impact on you. I think that's enough for today. If you've watched to the end of the video, thank you so much. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. It's free, and I have videos on self-growth here every week, on dating and on relationships. And if you are looking for a coach to transform your love life, I'm your girl. However, I only work with women. Anyway, so much love to you, and see you in my next video. Bye!